Yo, hey, DJ.
Wes, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Have you heard?
I thought I heard something, but what did I hear?
The podcast is back.
Which podcast?
The Live, Love, Wiley podcast.
Oh, that's right.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the Live, Love, Wiley podcast, hosted by Wes Dorsey and Jeremiah Venzel. Connecting people in the city we live and love. All right. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome. My name's Jeremiah.
We need to get you added to the
We'll work
intro.
that out. We'll work that out. Shout out to Jeremiah. We love him.
He may be back for the next one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're kicking this thing off with a couple great guests.
We do. We've got a couple of guys that maybe a few people know.
Maybe.
And we've got a lot to talk about too. I mean, we've got kind of had to form this entire podcast around what's coming up. That was the idea.
There's a lot of really cool things happening in Wiley coming up the beginning of next month. And so we've got Craig Kelly with us, the Public Information Officer for the City of Wiley.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome, Craig.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
We've got another guy too, right?
We got Jeremy Meier. Is that right? Did I pronounce it right?
You did.
All right. Who is the president of the Downtown Merchants Association. Did I get that right?
Yes, Junior Lackey.
All right. Well, welcome, guys. So, really, I got just a question for you, Jeremy. How did the Downtown Merchants Association begin?
Throw me a.
Is that a hard one?
I'm going to throw you a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
About 40 years ago.
Okay.
Pretty simple, actually. The downtown merchants got together to promote downtown. You know, downtown has always been historically the central gathering place for Wiley. You know, back when it was less than 8,000 people, and so that being the focal point where everyone gathered. You know, family, friends, neighbors. They started throwing parties. You know, just kind of get-togethers, and you know, from the first ice cream social to the bluegrass and ballard that we have today.
Awesome.
That's very cool.
So how did you get involved with it? I mean, I don't think you've been involved with all 40 years, right?
No, a little bit younger than 40.
I thought you started back in 1887.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
88. So I moved to Wiley. Actually, went through high school in Plano, East Plano. Had friends in Wiley. Loved Wiley. Moved to Dallas for a few years, for work, and then had a friend selling a house. So brought the family to Wiley in 07. Started my own business in 08. Came downtown, Shoemaker and Hart, got a cup of coffee, and Kent said, we've got a meeting next week. You should come over and hang out, enjoy the meeting. So we had it then the Taste of Home was still open at that time. They had just moved to the old lot where Frankie's is now in downtown Wiley, and the rest is history, as they say. Got involved.
That's
Loved it
awesome.
from day one.
Yep. We love people that get involved, right, Craig?
That's for sure. Yeah, love it.
Always helpful.
Always helpful. So, Craig, how long have you been working for the City of Wiley?
Yeah, so pretty similar to Jeremy, about 14 years. Now, I'm always looking to the future, so can't remember the exact year, but been with the city about 14 years. And the cool part is I got involved with the Downtown Merchants pretty close to the same time Jeremy did. We were talking about this yesterday. And when you look at all the studies, a vibrant downtown is key to a city's success. It makes people love living in the city when you have a vibrant downtown. So when I came on board with the city, it was a matter of, where can I best serve? Obviously, I have my city functions, communicating to the residents about city activities, events, and what's happening in the city. But knowing and seeing the downtown, loved it, fell in love with it. Used to come buy ski clothes at the Ladylike shop when I was in junior high, to go skiing.
Ski clothes.
Of course,
ski shop in Texas.
Best place to come to. And I remember coming into the downtown. Obviously, it was a bar ditch road on 78. Was there a flashing light at the time? Maybe.
Maybe.
I can't remember if there was a stoplight in town, but would come into town. And I remembered that as a child also fishing out at the dam as well. My mom would drop me off. Lived in Rockwall at the time, and she'd drop me off, go fishing at the dam. So when I came in, started for the city, I saw that there was opportunity in the downtown, and what an opportunity to revitalize and keep that wide awake Wiley theme alive, because it was so important to the town. So Jeremy and I almost partnered in that endeavor, along with the other merchants that have been involved in downtown. So it's been a fun ride.
That's awesome.
It's awesome to me to see city coming alongside, organizations and things that may not necessarily be city, but the city sees value, the organizations see value in the city being a part of that. And so I think that's something special about Wiley. I know that there are other cities and towns, just from my involvement, that look at Wiley and go, how did y'all do that? Or how are y'all doing that? How are y'all making that work? So I think it's very cool that we have that partnership. And it's not just Downtown Murchison City, it's other organizations, other things happening around town that partner together and come together on some of those things. So it's very cool.
And we work for the citizens of Wiley, and it's always made sense. And the city councils and the city managers throughout the years have always encouraged city staff to partner with the community and the organizations, the service organizations around town, just to be a part of it.
That's awesome.
To assist, help, and make Wiley a great place to live.
I know I've been here almost 20 years, more than 20 years. Yep. 22 years I've been in the area.
Wow. So were you here when the Downtown Merchants started?
I was almost. Almost. All right. So we got something really cool coming up that I haven't seen in many other cities.
Yes.
It is the pedal car race. And what is this? The 18th annual pedal car race? Is that what we have?
Exactly. Started in 2004.
2004.
Okay.
You know what I was doing in 2004? I was graduating high school.
Oh, I thought you were going to say driving one of the pedal cars.
He was the pedal car racing champion of 2004
All right.
in his age class.
Yeah. It was a tight class group, but we made it work.
I want to see you guys get into one of the cars.
We will see
today.
what we can do.
I think there's a load limit on the cars that I will exceed.
I know a guy that makes videos, and maybe he can make a video of Wes being in the pedal car.
We've had one of our firemen actually race down one year.
That's awesome.
Captain Ray Jackson
Yep.
tries to get in every year because, of course, he was one of the founding members of the clowns that would go out into schools and teach fire safety. And he said he had a little experience
getting in a tiny car,
running one of those around.
He's pretty fast.
Yeah, he does a good job.
So just paint everybody a picture of what, in case they're not familiar with pedal cars, what are the specifications that make something a pedal car?
Car that you pedal.
That's right. I mean, is there a size limit?
So there's actually, and I'm not going to technically know what that class is, but they're actually the cars that you push. So you're not pedaling, they're actually pushing back and forth to move the car.
Not a chain drive. It's the one that you go back.
It's the bar that.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's not a turn, it's a push.
It's a
back and forth.
Really?
The pedals will turn, but you're kind of doing this.
Oh wow.
Right, you're pushing. Yes. So push back and forth.
Okay.
So it was a push car, I guess you could say. But the funny thing
Pedal
is,
the push.
The funny thing is when you see some of the younger kids getting in and they don't have that coordination yet.
Yeah.
You'll see their little feet on the ground like
They
a
just take off,
Flintstones race,
just running.
and pedal along. Thank goodness they're usually a little slower than the kids that can pedal, because I don't know what we'd do if one of the children won that actually used their feet on the ground.
The Flintstones.
I don't know if that'd be a disqualification or not. Luckily,
Maybe there should be an award.
I don't think we're that strict, right?
No. But they
They're
did get
that
pretty
fun.
competitive.
Oh.
Yeah, we've had so we've had to, over the last couple of years, develop a photo finish
Oh.
yes, we have.
policy. So
Really?
we actually have people taking, so for some of the final races, we've had to do photo finish.
There is a race official that records each finish line.
Yep.
So if we have to go back to the video, we can, because believe it or not, it is a very serious matter, and to many of the parents as well. Kids are just having a great time.
Oh yeah.
I just
And they
like to
don't care.
think that there are kids, because I know that there's two groups, and we'll get to that. There's two groups, right? The 2 to 5 year olds, and then the 2 to 3 year olds. Is that how it is? They have it set up two different brackets, correct?
2 to 3, 4 to 5.
2 to 3, 4, 5. I just like to imagine myself around Wiley since January, just these 2 to 5 year olds just in backyards training.
They're training for
just
this.
Rocky is playing, and they are just working all
year.
leg muscles.
Yeah, one year we had a father and son team that showed up, brought their own pedal car.
Oh,
The child was wearing a jumpsuit.
nice.
It was like F1 jumpsuit or something like that. Yeah. Father was like, yeah, he's been practicing all year for this. And he's the reason we don't let parents bring pedal cars to the races anymore.
Oh, okay.
So that first race we're watching, and he blew away the competition by at least 10 feet.
Oh my gosh.
So think about the size of the course. Not real big.
It's not very big.
It's
So
500.
10 feet. Yeah, 500 inches, which a lot of people don't realize. Obviously playing off Indianapolis 500, but only 500 inches on that race course. So like Jeremy said, had to make the rule that you had to use a merchant's car.
I like that.
That you couldn't bring your own. I could see the father in the workshop.
He's putting high performance bearings in there.
Yeah.
Changing the gearing ratio.
That
and
thing
putting
thing would roll with just slight breeze.
Was it the old IBEC 5 roller skate bearings or something?
Yeah.
Well, I heard a couple of important things there. And just to note, I think we're saying a lot of things that people are going to want to know. And one of those things is you cannot bring your own pedal car. They will be provided.
Yeah,
It's a
Listen.
500-inch race.
Citizens of Wiley, you cannot bring your own pedal car.
Do not show up with your own pedal car.
But that makes it pretty cool because when you think about it, like you guys started out, I've always said it's one of the most unique events in Texas when you think about the pedal car race. And
It's very neat.
yeah, it's a really cool event. But then on top of that, having the merchants provide the pedal cars gives them an opportunity to market the business. They can buy a pedal car. They can wrap it with whatever design they want. Some are pink, some are blue, some have the logo emblazoned across it. We have fire trucks, police cars. There's all sorts
So
of businesses
how many
involved.
pedal cars do we have entered into the race? How many merchants have pedal cars?
We got about 40 to 50 pedal cars.
That's a lot of pedal cars.
They don't all make it every year because
Yeah.
the merchants still have to bring them. But
Yeah.
there's usually 25 to 30 on site, I would say.
And we have our own pit crew too. So sometimes the merchants we'll go pick up the pedal cars, the merchants will drop them off, and sometimes the wheels are a little, so we actually have to fix them. So we have a pit crew team, a table devoted to fixing pedal
That's
cars.
really cool.
I love that.
So my big question is, who came up with this idea?
Well, there was a precursor to the pedal car race.
Oh.
Years and years ago, way before my time, don't even know if I was born yet. They used to race. There were the toilet bowl races,
Oh, that's right.
and so of course other towns had bed races, so we had a toilet bowl.
We had a okay. This is sparking another conversation.
But pedal cars, yeah. So the merchants got together and said, well, let's do something fun for kids. And where else can you shut down and block the historic downtown road and let the kids race? Police pedal cars, and fire trucks and tractors. We've had all kinds of cool cars out. So the merchants got together, bought a few cars, and all of a sudden other merchants wanted to get involved. That
It just caught on like wildfire.
2004. The other reason for the pedal car race was a benefit for the Special Olympics. So in 2004, they decided they wanted to do a fun, connect with the community, give back to the community event. But they also wanted to support the fairly nearly formed Wiley, Saxe, Murphy area Special Olympics.
Awesome.
And these are young adults; they're not the children. So the young adult Special Olympics isn't funded by or through school and other charities. It's really they get their funds from merchants and various other charities that want to give back to that organization. And so this marks the 18th year. We will have given a little over $17,000 to that organization. And it's all based on donations, sponsorships, and entry for the pedal car race.
That's fabulous. That's amazing.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that majority of that $15 entry fee goes to support Special Olympics and then also downtown beautification, among other things.
That's awesome. And I know it's a great time, as you mentioned, some of the merchants having their cars and their logos and things down there. I know that just from past experience, myself being down there, it's a big event. I mean, this is not a small thing, and it's not even just people that are entered and bringing their kiddos down there. But I remember showing up the first one I went to, and it was just the most hilarious thing. Waiting for the race is the best part. Watching these kids try to figure out the pedal cars, and I mean, they're crashing them into each other and things. And and the parents are just laughing, but it's one of those events. It's that time of year. It's nicer outside. It's starting to warm up, but just seeing, and if you've never been, I mean, it's something to just come down and see. All of the merchants, the businesses are open. You can go in and kind of shop. You can grab food, and you've got this whole event happening downtown. And one of my favorite times is the different events we do throughout the year in Wiley that Ballard is blocked off. I think it's one of the neatest things. It's so, to me, it brings back, like you said, that historic downtown, just that feel of like everything shuts down to go to downtown. And it's so much that way. But yeah, seeing that event and seeing that it's definitely a family-friendly event for sure, but just seeing the amount of people that show up just to watch and shop in the shops on those days, I think it's very cool.
Yeah, it reminds me much of if you've seen the old photos of downtown at the turn of the century, way back when people gathered. Now, of course, the roads were all mud and you have carriages, but just seeing that excitement and, like you said, the people all gathered together, watching this race take place. Such a cool backdrop. Some of the facades are obviously still the same as they were in those old photos. So hopefully we can get those out there and show folks those cool photos, old and new. Pretty cool.
It's very cool.
And you'd asked when or how I got involved. I think more importantly is the why. And I went to the first few meetings and really felt the camaraderie with the merchants, with the city and the various organizations, the Masonic Lodge, the American Legion Post, all the different organizations that work really well together. But it was a connection with the community that really hit me and connected with me. And it was the pedal car race to this day. I'm not sure I could say I have a favorite, but if I had to, it'd be the pedal car race. It was a pedal car race that kept me involved. I remember going out and volunteering and helping set up and learning the track rules. And I remember the then president stepping down and, in the next election and somebody else got in place. And I remember him coming and saying, okay, you and Bobby Heath and Craig, you guys carry the reins. You're going to be the track set up and help coordinate it. And so that just really connected. It was, connecting with the kids, connecting with the parents. And just a few years ago, we had a mother come up and say, I remember this when I was a kid. I remember racing in this.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
It was a young couple with I think it was a young girl or a young boy, obviously. But, they had a couple kids, and one of them could race that first year.
Yeah, you start having these events like we are you're starting to hit some of these milestone generational kind of anniversaries that now you have people that used to participate in them are now bringing their kids out. I mean, that's special, and especially to be there to see it go through that entire kind of life cycle, or from beginning to now where we are and what it's going to be 20 years from now. That kid's kid may be down there one day, which is very cool.
That is cool. So we've got kids 2 to 5, right? And there's 2 brackets, 2 to 3 run, and then 4 and 5 run, right? So if people want to get their kids registered to race the pedal cars just for fun or whatever they want to do, where can they do that at?
DiscoverWiley.com. On the front page, click on the pedal car race, and it'll take you right to the
super easy
information and Eventbrite form. They can purchase tickets in advance,
which is recommended.
Recommended. You can show up to race. I believe it's $15. You get a T-shirt. Awesome. It covers everything. There's a lot of free stuff out there. We're not selling anything at the event, so basically that covers registration, and there'll be free hot dogs for the kids and various other cool things.
And just to make sure we say it, it's on Sunday, May 1st.
That's correct.
Sunday, May 1st.
Sunday, May 1st.
Yeah.
We'll make sure all the graphics and things are out there, but Sunday, May 1st, the full event is from 1 to 5 p.m. And
DiscoverWiley.com.
DiscoverWiley.com for advanced ticket purchase.
And the registration starts at 1 with the races starting at 2.
Perfect. Okay.
And the first age bracket will begin racing at 2. We'll have opening ceremonies for both age brackets. So if you've pre-registered and say you have an older child, you don't have to be there right at 1. You can come in and complete your registration a little later than that.
Okay.
So that way we'll spread people out.
Sure.
And you don't have
not a long
huge
line
lines there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people pre-register, so we do encourage people to hop on there and register through discoverwiley.com. Go to Eventbrite, and get their registration. And again, I think we made mention of it, but that also includes a free T-shirt.
Awesome.
With that registration. Of course, like we talked about, proceeds benefit the Special Olympics. And then on top of that, we have free hot dogs downtown, and as Jeremy mentioned, other activities as well. So for $15, can't beat that Sunday afternoon of family
Absolutely.
fun and bringing your kids down.
Absolutely.
What other activities are we going to have?
Well, the Rotary's cooking free hot dogs for the kids. We may have bounce houses again this year. They didn't come out last year due to COVID. The magic thing. We'll have, there's always something for kids. So whether it's face painting or kind of not, I was going to say yard art, but I guess street art, streetscape, chalkboard painting. We have a couple sponsors coming out that will have, games. Maybe it's a beanbag toss or basketball toss or something like that. So
Awesome.
There's things for the young kids that can't race and the older kids that can't race as well. That might fall outside of that age bracket.
Okay.
So definitely not a boring time for.
I know I'll be there.
I like a hot dog.
Yes.
Hot dogs for kids. What about hot dogs for the adults? Can we purchase those?
No, you can eat it, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I've had my fair share.
Okay. All right. I'll just come find Jeremy.
It's usually my breakfast and the lunch.
Now, sometimes they will have some special brats down there that you can purchase to eat, which supports the organization.
Oh, I'm behind that 100%.
I eat hot dogs like I'm in a hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, and I have to remind myself that I'm not in one.
Maybe we should add that the hot dog contest and see how that goes.
I think that would be a good adder.
Yeah.
Before or after the race? Can
Sunday
you race after
afternoon
eating
at 1 or 2? Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, after some of the events downtown, particularly like Bluegrass, where you're there all day, start to finish, I don't eat much while I'm down there. I just can't. It gets warm, and I can't do it. I can't
snack.
Can't do it. Contest for sure.
Yeah, it's always my challenge because with bringing in different food vendors and stuff, they're always willing, and I can eat some of their food. But I'm always so busy and running around so much. At the end of the day, I'm like, I didn't eat any of that food. All that great food.
I forgot to eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we missing here with the pedal car race? Did we cover everything?
Wow, there's a lot. I mean, there's so many cool stories about it.
Yeah.
We've talked about over the years. It's been mentioned many times. So when the city was named one of the best places to live by Money Magazine, talked about the pedal car race.
Yep.
It was front and center. Those photos are used because what's better than hometown America than, like you were saying, seeing kids, families, and pedal cars in the middle of your historic downtown district racing 500 inches. Pretty cool. We've also, many years, not sure if it'll happen this year, still working on it, but had the opportunity to race pedal cars on the plaza of WFAA down there in Victory Park, and had, I think the one year, probably 10 to 15 kids. Now, the fun part about that is we had to be down there at 4 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
So
Kids love 4 a.m.
yeah, so you had these 2 to 5 year olds, and of course you're on TV time, so you have to abide by those rules.
Yep.
But out on the plaza racing, a pretty cool event.
That's neat.
And then we transitioned over to the Channel 4 studios and actually raced down their hallway for bumpers in and out of the newscast.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty cool. It's
That
been
is
fun
cool.
to do that. Yeah.
I love stories like that.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I
really fascinating.
I know you've got another story, right?
Well, those
Am I putting you on
I
the
can't
spot?
talk about it on air.
Oh, okay. Okay,
No, it's just pretty neat. I mean, I think it's been great for the city, and that, like we talk about, everything we talk about today goes back to giving back to the community.
For sure.
People coming together, celebrating life, celebrating the community, celebrating one another, and just having a good time. Our events in Wiley are so unique, from the pricing structure to things like free hot dogs. What other event do you go to anywhere where you're getting a T-shirt, which costs almost as much as the entry fee,
Right.
and you get a free hot dog,
Yeah.
you get free water, and you can just come down and have a good time. We really want to introduce people primarily to the historic downtown area, and a lot of these events focus on that. And we haven't really touched on that yet. So Wiley has grown so much in the past 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Well, since this event started, we always speculate, but if you live on the west side of town, we still want to introduce people to the historic downtown area, the restaurants, the shopping, the services, Old City Park, the Veterans Memorial, everything that's down there. I would venture to say there's a pretty large percentage of people that never stepped foot into the downtown.
Sure.
And this is a great opportunity to introduce them to what's downtown.
Especially with the growth the last 15, 20 years. Yeah. We hear all the time, I didn't know downtown existed.
Yeah.
And we're talking, small business, mom and pops, unique shops. They're not the chain restaurants. They're unique experiences.
Yeah, no, you do. You hear it a lot. I mean, both of you gentlemen know, of course, what I do for a living. But I mean, it's one of the most rewarding things to do. And I know that the city and the downtown merchants must feel that way as well. But for us to do some of the introductions to businesses, whether that be downtown or just around Wiley, and have people go, I've been here 10 years and I didn't even know that was here. It's incredible that they didn't, but that's a perfect example of having people go, wait a minute, there's a Shoemaker and Hart, there's a coffee place downtown. They also sell like all these awesome gadgets and trinkets. Like I didn't even know that I've driven past it 20 times, but I didn't know it was there. But these events get them down there, roam around for a bit, discover Wiley.
I think I counted 9 places that serve food and drinks and such.
That makes sense.
Downtown.
Yeah.
That's 9 restaurants or 9 places that you can go and eat.
Yeah.
And DJ, I know you've talked about this before, but what does it mean when you go shop that small business? Because they're typically family run and operated, for sure, and also the employees as well. Could be family members, could be youth, could be people in the community that are working in the afternoon. But when you look at the impact that one local small business has, because what are they going to do? They live in the community. Then what do they do with
their income
in their life? They're going out, they're buying, they're shopping, they're playing sports in the community. Their kids are involved in the community.
Yeah.
So that wealth just keeps spreading.
Sure.
And you're supporting those families. You're creating this dynamic environment downtown, which is critical to the current and future success of the city. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Cities that lose their downtown, they lose their identity.
Yeah.
Not going to make mention of any cities, but we know who they are.
Right.
And there's not that identity anymore.
I love looking at old pictures of downtown and going, hey, I know what's there now.
Yeah.
To see what was there then, and it's really cool that all the buildings are pretty much still there.
Do you know we used to have a swimming pool downtown?
I do. Do you know? Did you know that?
Is it?
Might still be there.
I mean, I think it's technically still there.
Isn't it behind the Anytime Fitness?
It's actually behind the nutrition shop there, yeah.
Right in Old City Park on the north side of the park along the mural. And my understanding is even when Parks or Public Works does any work there, you can still maybe hit or run into
so it's buried under the ground?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Long story behind that as to why it shut down. We won't go there. But that was many, 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 many years ago.
That could be a different podcast.
Yes.
We would need to start with all the rumors that were about it first, and then we get to the actual facts.
Yeah.
But I think that, this is probably a good segue point. I think we've covered everything for the
I have one more pedal car question.
Oh.
And then we can segue.
I love it. Go for it.
So you say the merchants have the pedal cars. Is it just tied to downtown merchants, or can any Wiley merchant have a pedal car and enter it in the race?
Yeah, any Wiley merchant can. And several of the merchants that have moved, maybe they've grown, their business has grown substantially. They've moved out of downtown. They're still involved. They still bring their cars down.
That's great to know.
And in reality, the success of all businesses in Wiley contribute to one another.
Sure.
So,
True. Absolutely.
Yeah, we focus on promoting and bringing people into downtown. The Wiley Downtown Merchants Association does, and the events are downtown. But, it's for the good of everybody.
Well, as the community grows and as the business community grows, naturally these events grow. The attendees grow. The number of kids wanting to participate in it grows. So, the need for pedal cars at some point could continue to grow as well. So I think that's something I'm sure that y'all watch, over time. But, it'd be, I don't think you ever have too many pedal cars.
I actually saw DJ shopping for a pedal car.
I did look at some pedal cars. Maybe next year. Year. I tried to look for a Corvette pedal car that I could also get wrapped, and I couldn't. I found an old one that it was going to take months to get here. I just couldn't find it, so we'll see about next year.
Lime green?
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be wrapped. It'll look exactly like one.
Like your monster truck. They technically couldn't race it downtown.
We couldn't race that downtown. It was seen tromping around a rodeo, but other than that, it wasn't downtown.
It's a process too. We're talking about these cars, but like you were saying, the fun beforehand, starting at 1:00, when those kids go in and they're trying different cars,
and
they're finding the one they like.
Yes, I saw one kid in particular, and I don't know how many photos I had of him, but I was just cracking up because this kid was going, he would get in a car for all of 5 or 8 seconds and you just see him mess with things. He'd get up.
Not the one. This is not the one.
You could see the decision making taking place on his face. It was the funniest thing to watch. Yeah, it was
you know, and the children can pick their car before their race. So we'll either race in heats of 6 or 7, depending on how many kids register. You know, the biggest year we had 205 kids.
Wow.
It's been down a little bit because of COVID, but not down a lot. You know, 165, 170.
Right.
I expect this year we'll have
maybe break a record.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think so. That's why it's important to register early.
Absolutely.
So we can have an understanding of the numbers. It sounds like a lot of kids, but it still moves through pretty quickly when you race those heats of 7. And then from there, you know, we have our semifinals, we have our finals, and also every kid gets a ribbon that participates as well. They enjoy it. They're proud of that. And trophies for the winners in each age bracket. So first, second, and third in each age bracket walk away with a trophy.
That's
which
awesome.
is pretty cool. But what I was getting at is picking that car is so important. Now, you can't hold on to that car because a child in any heat can pick whatever car they want. So when you see the faces of the child as you pull that car away, because we're getting ready for the race, but I'm like, no, you can pick that one later.
You can have it back.
But everybody has the opportunity to choose that car as well.
Yeah.
You can't hold it back. But it's fun to see that selection.
That's great.
All the different cars, the colors, the markings. This is fun. Great event. The photos are awesome down there.
Yeah, it sounds like a great time. So, clear your calendar, Wiley.
May 1st.
May 1st.
And they might as well keep clearing them because that's our segue right there. Is they need to keep clearing them.
Keep clearing them.
But essentially, that in an entire first week of May, starting on Sunday, and I think it's a good transition. And we're gonna jump into Small Business Week. Wes, are you familiar with Small Business Week?
I am.
Okay, I am as well. And I know that both these gentlemen may have more to tell us about it. I dug a little bit just to look. I'm always curious of history, and I know Craig is as well as Jeremy. So we'll let them give their take as well. Maybe more specifically to Wiley, but just in general, is what I found was 1963, SBA launched Small Business Week in recognition of entrepreneurs and small business contributions to their communities. Is what I found, and I thought, okay, cool, that's great. I mean, and all that sounds good, right? When you find those little titles, but what does that kind of specifically mean here in Wiley? I know that it was, and Craig can agree or disagree, and that's that. But it was what we've done here in Wiley. I think is somewhat ingenious. That we have built these events around some of these key things that come up. We've built pedal car race, which segues right into and kind of kicks off Small Business Week, and then it also leads us into our third topic, which we'll get to in a minute, but. Craig, what do you know about Small Business Week, maybe, whether it be nationally or just in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important, like we talked about, the importance of supporting small local businesses, ma and pa type shops. Watch for more information coming out, I think, in Around Magazine, Connection Magazine, in the newspaper. But the Wiley Economic Development Corporation, in partnership with a good number of other organizations within the city, has done a great job lining up Small Business Week in support of the community. And there's really an activity happening almost every day.
Awesome.
And multiple activities too. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, that's exactly
today.
right.
Yeah, and of course the WDC, one of their main purposes is to support, grow local business. I think they've done a great job in doing so.
No, absolutely. I think it's a connection point of, we talk about people knowing or not knowing about things going on, but then you build specific things around those either types of businesses or locations of businesses or whatever it may be. And I think it's very cool.
Yeah, and like we talked about, we've been going back to turn of the century. And when you think about Wiley and you think about how it was founded, why it was founded, and how it's thrived over the years, it did go back to small business. At one point, people don't realize, another topic for another day, but Wiley was the onion capital.
Yeah.
Of the world. And
I've heard that.
Heard
it a couple times.
I've heard that.
Those were people working hard, gathering, coming into the downtown area, selling their goods, purchasing goods, and conducting business in Wiley. So it's pretty cool to look back at the history and
do we
see how
have?
that originated.
I know they're coming out with more information. Do we have any? Even if it's a brief overview, do we have anything of the events that are specific to certain days?
Yeah, again,
I'm cheating off your sheet a little
sure.
bit.
I got it right here. Now the key, this is the ad that's coming out.
Yes, so we got a little sneak peek.
Yeah, the key is really getting out and shopping.
Yep.
And one of the things we're going to bring back again, and then I'll get into the specific events, we did a promotion last year on social media where you could get a free Wide Awake Wiley t-shirt. We've seen a lot of those around town. Really cool, soft, well-made heather gray t-shirt with the old Wide Awake Wiley billboard that was along 78 and taken down, I think, in the 60s or maybe early 70s. Really cool shirt. We're going to do that again. So basically, you eat or shop at any establishment in Wiley, post a photo or a video, which would be cool, on Facebook or Instagram. Give a shout out to that restaurant and just use the hashtag #IShopWiley. That's all you're doing. And we all love, well, most of us love social media. I know there's a lot of people out there, but this is a good thing for social media. We're not gossiping or anything.
No.
We're supporting local business, and that can be any business in Wiley. Big, small, get out there because we want people to keep their tax dollars and their shopping in Wiley because it supports everything we do.
Absolutely.
It supports parks. It supports further development, everything, roads. So simply post that video, post that photo, use the hashtag #IShopWiley. That's all you got to do. You can stop by City Hall, show us your post. You get a free T-shirt. And these
Craig,
are nice T-shirts.
I have to say, it is a nice T-shirt. You know, I always like to be the one that backs some of those statements up, and I do that in what I do too. Because Craig can say all day it was a nice T-shirt. Craig may have had something to do with that T-shirt. I thoroughly like. I still wear that T-shirt from last year. I wear it realistically almost probably once a week. I mean, it's a very comfortable T-shirt. It was a cool design, and I think it was neat. It's always neat for me to see other people wearing them because I was close to it. Like I was trying to, help people and encourage people to go out and do it. But to see just, someone I don't even know, just someone walking downtown or at Target and they're wearing the shirt, I'm like, hey, and they think I'm a weirdo because I'm going, nice shirt, and they don't even know what they're wearing. Yeah. It's very cool. No, so I think that's an awesome campaign.
And then, of course, you got to learn the story behind Wide Awake Wiley, which we don't have time on that today. Maybe another broadcast.
Maybe another one.
We'll post information about that, but proudly wear your T-shirt. I'm from Wiley. Hey, and people are proud of that. It's pretty cool.
All right, is it going to be a new design or the same design?
I think we're bringing back the same design because we actually ran out of shirts. So I think
people love that shirt.
Oh yeah, and like DJ said, I've almost worn mine out because I wore it so much, and I'm ready for a new one.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of people that missed out too. I mean, there were people that came in after the fact, and we're seeing all the posts that were going around on Instagram and Facebook, how did I get that? Wait, that FOMO kicked in real hard after the campaign was over, and there were a lot of people that I think that gives them an opportunity that they can. I need to re-up on mine. Yeah, so I'll be doing it.
We'll let you do that. We'll let you.
I'll be for sure.
Yeah, so definitely do that. And you'll see on social media, and definitely, if you're not following already, since we're talking about social media, follow Discover Wiley's Facebook page.
Yep,
very important.
Instagram as well, correct?
Yes,
sir.
Yep, and then of course, there are a lot of pages out there, but follow the Wiley, Texas City Hall page.
The official.
Now, that was at one time Wiley, Texas, but Facebook made us change our name. So it wouldn't have been what I would have chosen at the time, but they made us change the name at the time. So a little convoluted, Wiley, Texas City Hall, but we have about 20,000 followers of that page. So you'll get city updates, information, but really try and focus on quality of life and events.
Sure.
And you can keep up to what's happening. And then, of course, we share that, spread that with other entities. So I think you ask about events and what's happening. I think we're going to talk about Taste of Wiley next.
We will.
Okay, so that's on the 2nd, so May 2nd. A cool meeting if you want to pop in and see what's happening in downtown. The Downtown Merchants meeting is always that first Tuesday of the month.
Yep.
And that's going to fall on Tuesday the 3rd. So even if you're not a downtown merchant, you're more than willing. You might have a business outside of that area. Pop in, see what's happening.
Absolutely.
Come support the downtown merchants. There's an Eastern Collin County Women's Conference, and that's being put together by the Chamber of Commerce, another organization which supports local business, works in partnership with the WEDC, with the downtown merchants, with the city. We haven't made mention of them yet. But important organization to the city. You can go to wileychamber.org for that. Who doesn't love Cinco de Mayo?
Absolutely.
I love Cinco
I'm
de
ready.
Mayo.
You just made me hungry instantly.
Taco Thursday.
Taco Thursday.
Taco Thursday.
Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, that's right. So,
We can't have it on Tuesday every year. It has to move a little.
We'll mix it up a little.
Okay.
and we have some great Mexican food restaurants.
Absolutely.
Oh, we do.
In Wiley,
We
yes.
do.
Yeah.
I mean, who has the best taco? I'm not getting into that discussion.
Oh,
here,
that's a
'cause
whole
I'm not-
nother
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I think we have to have the tacos
Yeah.
on the table. We have to go through. That's a whole nother day.
I would say we take it on the road and go try every one of those
We
tacos.
we could do that.
I think we could do that. We could make that
Good.
work.
So Cinco de Mayo, so WileyEDC.com is going to list the specials. And we'll
Awesome.
get that out on social media. But be sure to get out, meet people in the community, try a different
Almost like a taco,
restaurant you
like a
haven't
taco
been to.
trail. Is that what they're calling it?
Oh, that's a great name. I like
Taco
that, yeah.
trail.
Yeah, we've got the wine trail.
Yeah, I like
I'm
that.
gonna have to go to WileyEDC.org and put in
Make a
my,
suggestion.
my suggestion. Make a suggestion box.
Taco Trail.
Taco trail.
I'm liking it. And then we have the Wiley Young Professionals Meetup. Now my hair's turned a little gray, so I don't know if I fit that young professionals.
Now, Craig,
anymore,
I've been.
I've crashed that party.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
Anyone and everyone is invited, from what I've understood. That it is definitely keyed up to the young professionals, but it's also to young at heart as well.
All right. I like that. So 5 to 7 p.m. at Landon Winery, wileychamber.org for more information. And then always a great event in downtown is the Sip and Shop.
Yes.
And feel free to jump in. But on Saturday, May 7th, is the Sip and Shop. And Jeremy, talk about that a little bit. I've been talking. So Sip and Shop.
There's anywhere from, say, about 20 of the merchants will partner with Landon Winery to pour very tasty Landon wine with various appetizers throughout downtown. And it's a perfect opportunity to buy tickets, come downtown, spend the afternoon. They've got a whole roadmap. They make a game out of it. There's prizes. Everyone meets up afterwards. They draw tickets and do prizes. Really fun. But you get to walk around and taste wine and shop. And a lot of the merchants that are participating will have specials, basically open houses throughout downtown. Rick's Home Store, Wiley Flower and Gift, to name a few. Mari, with the Children's Boutique in downtown, they'll all, just partner. And so you're going into these shops that you haven't maybe been into yet. Mm-hmm. It's just really fun. It's another community event.
And there's I think you mentioned it. There's because I've heard of the event, and there's at each little stop, it's at a merchant, and at each little stop there's something to try, and that usually is some type of pairing from the wine, and there's some type of appetizer typically or something along those lines. So not only are you getting to sample some of the wine and visit the stores, but you're also getting a little food along the ways and making your way back to gifts and giveaways. I mean, it sounds awesome.
Fun event.
It's real fun. It sounds like, so you said a food pairing to go with the wine. So now we're getting some culture. And
I'm trying to sound like an expert. I'm not the
Would
expert.
those be tacos? I don't.
I mean, it could be.
Okay.
I don't know. Do tacos pair with a wine? That's a good question.
Imagine, so Bold has brisket egg rolls.
My wife is a fan.
they're really good.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of people who are fans.
Not to mention the brisket burrito.
Yes.
Which is pretty awesome as well.
Well, there's that too. Yep. And the brisket tacos, of course.
Yeah,
on
those
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Yes.
And now I'm hungry. Can I leave now?
Yes. No, I think,
okay.
well, talk about segues. Talking about being hungry and segues. I think that is a decent segue into, we already said it briefly, but then we're going to jump into that Monday. So after the pedal car race, the second Monday, May 2nd, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., we have Taste of Wiley, and that's going to be down in Old City Park. And Craig has a beautiful graphic here that I need to steal one of those. Craig, tell us a little bit more about, and then Jeremy chime in too, but tell us a little bit more about Taste
That
of
was
Wiley this year.
perfect because that it's on that camera right
That's
there.
Wiley,
yeah, there we go.
It's like I've done this before.
Yeah.
I don't know. And we also have really cool stickers. So if you come down to the event, get a little cool sticker as well.
Everybody loves stickers.
Everybody does
Definitely,
love stickers.
Those are limited, aren't they?
They're limited to 250 this year on the back of the computer here as well. So
Oh.
a great little sticker.
So now we have 248 left.
Well, Jeremy's taken about 15 of them, so now we're down even more. But Monday, May 2nd. So, guys, this is, believe it or not, the 29th.
Wow.
The 29th is, my understanding, annual Taste of Wiley. So in 1994, amazing.
That's
When I
incredible.
did that, I'm like, what? So in 1994, it was held at the Party Barn.
Okay.
Way back when in the Taste of Wiley. So there's so much rich history behind the event. I don't even feel qualified to talk about it. And I hate that because there were so many volunteers and so many people throughout those years that made it happen. And the reason it is in existence was for one sole purpose, and that was to support the community. And there was a need even 29 years ago for the creation of a food pantry, for a creation of a place people could come. Maybe they're having hard times to come in, get food, get rent support, whatever that might be. So the Taste of Wiley is all about that, and it still is. So originally, it was pulled together, and again, I'm not the historian here, but there were many different players that were involved in this. And it was pulled together to create as a fundraiser for the Christian Care Center. And anybody that's been in Wiley knows the Christian Care Center and the work that they have done over all of those years. And the tens of thousands of people they have helped or supported through food, rent, you name it. Utility bills, and they're still working today. So the cool thing is Ron and Mary Workentine have run the event. They're co-directors now at the Christian Care, have run the event over the past few years. But they saw a great opportunity in the spirit of serving and helping the community. The Christian Care is very well established, and they have a lot of people backing. So they saw this opportunity to grow and expand the event starting this year to help the many food pantries in the area. So now not only the Christian Care Center, and we list them on the poster as well, 5 Loaves, Amazing Grace Food Pantry, and then Hope for the Cities. So it's a great opportunity. And the hope is that the event continues to grow with this focus of supporting food pantries. Now, Mary's heart was also with the restaurants.
Yeah.
And this year she said, food pantries were receiving a good number of donations, but our heart goes out to the restaurants. And the restaurants have had a struggle over the past 2 years.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So we want to support them as well. And so a lot of the focus this year is our hope is promoting, bringing attention to the citizens, the local restaurants, the great offerings of food that we have. Our hope is that people go patronize them and go eat and be a part of the community, coming out to the Taste of Wiley to support, in reality, the food pantries, because that we're supporting the food pantries, but we're supporting the restaurants as well.
For sure.
And our hope is there. And Mary and Ron's hope is that people will continue to respond and come out and support both entities.
And this is a good sized event. I know that, just speaking of the events that I've gone to and been to recently, this was an event that was extremely well attended. Of last year. So, I mean, it's, how do are there tickets for the event, or do they pre-register for that as well? I would assume they want to know how many people are coming. I know last year, I mean, there were at least a couple hundred people that were there, and I didn't know what to expect because it was on a Monday, kind of midday, and I was like, oh, we'll see who'll be here. And sure enough, I'm reloading memory cards because there's so many people down there, and I want to get get photos.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that Monday in a second, but good question. So WileyTexas.gov /taste.
Okay.
So WileyTexas.gov /taste. Go on there, and there's a link where you can go to Eventbrite and purchase a ticket. Ticket's only $15.
Okay.
Where else are you going to go? I mean, most lunches
What
now
all does that
today
usually
are
include?
$15.
Let's say for $15, people that may have not have been to the event.
So we have a great list of restaurants this year, and I just freshly printed it off.
There you go.
And there's probably going to be a few more that will be joining us. So restaurants, food trucks, and there's some other food businesses as well, but we have more than 24 participating restaurants this year and food trucks. So we're very excited about that. It has grown from last year. Some of the names involved, and I was looking at the food. There's fried pies, there's street corn, there's rotisserie chicken. We talked about tacos. There's tacos, there's brisket, there's barbecue from local businesses. New York Pizza and Pints, a
Brand
new
new,
business, is going to be involved.
Awesome.
Everybody always asks about, Hillside Fine Grill, which is now Creekside Fine Grill.
I heard that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so it doesn't change the dynamic of the business, but they're the business that are going in and remodeling the old restaurant that's in front of the Kroger Center.
Yes. The Rock is what it was previously
yes,
named.
Yeah, the Rock. And they had a partner that is no longer involved in the business who retains the right to that Hillside Fine Grill. So they changed the name to Creekside, but same restaurant, same great offering of food. And by the way, they're going to start that remodel here pretty soon.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so they came before council last week and had a discussion, and they're beginning that remodel. They're going to be there. Cheese Steakhouse, Cowboy Chicken, Taco Addiction.
I've heard of that.
Love that. Sounds good. A lot of great restaurants. Oh, can't forget desserts either. Now I'm leaving people off. We have 24.
Right.
So I apologize for that. We're going to post on social media and tag all the restaurants.
Okay.
So watch for that. Should happen today. So you can go out to Facebook or wherever, Instagram, and get those restaurants. But a great selection of food and different food trucks. Desserts.
Yeah, we got to cover that.
I'm peeking at the list right here, and
what caught your eye? What'd you see?
I mean, all of it.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm a big guy. I like food.
Oh, I love it too. So, and hopefully I'll get the sample. But we talked about when we do these events, we forget to eat.
Right.
I don't think I'm going to forget to eat at this one.
Yeah.
I hope not. So I'm looking at the list too. I'm very excited because I've sampled all of these. Say It With Sugar. Who loves Say It With Sugar?
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. Crumble Cookies.
I love crumble cookies.
I love them too. A cup of coffee, crumble cookie, a great thing.
I mean, I have to cut those things in fours.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a lot of cookie.
I agree.
It's a whole lot.
Nothing Bun Cakes.
Also a big
Love
fan.
nothing but cakes. Yeah.
They're bringing out little buntinis, I think they're called.
Yeah.
So everybody gets their buntini at the event. Can't forget about the new one, La Panderia.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. I said that right, didn't I?
I believe so.
I don't know that I'm qualified to say it
have
if
you
you
guys-
said it correctly or
Have you
not.
guys tried their sugar cookie?
I don't know that I tried their. I think I probably because I've tried. I think everything.
Say it. So I'm a little biased, because I work, live, eat, breathe in downtown. So Say It With Sugar has the best cupcakes around. The best sugar cookie in Wiley is there at Panderia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hands down. Go try it.
I
Go
don't
try
know
it.
what
Tell
all
me
I
I'm wrong.
tried. I just know that the day that I went, I sampled everything. It was a lot.
Yeah, it's been a real problem with all this food. Now, so think about that for your $15 for adults, $10 for seniors, $10 for children 6 to 12. Come out, fellowship with one another. We're going to have eating, dining under the shade trees. Something new that we're doing this year. I'll admit it. There were long lines last year. I know several people that will listen. It's like, the lines were so long, it was hot. Well, this year we're doing something different. So, like I talked about, new partners are involved in this. The Wiley EDC, the city, still partnering with Christian Care, partnering with the other food pantries, but making a few changes to help grow the event. So this year we're going to group the restaurants under 20 by 20 big top tents.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, which will be pretty cool.
We'll split the lines up a little bit.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So rather than getting in one line and waiting for all of that, you can go to the pod of food. Maybe we group it by pairings, maybe dessert, entree, I don't know. But you can go there, pick what you want, relax, not going to have to wait in that long line.
Yeah.
We'll have some yard games out there. Again, the seating under the trees. So I'm very excited about that. I think it'll make for a really pleasant afternoon. Make it a lunch date. Get your ticket.
Yeah.
And come on out.
I don't think you could get that amount of food anywhere on the planet for $15.
No.
I mean, it's just not possible.
No, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And to be able to go in, again, we go back to tying all these things together. We love promoting events and telling history and backstories of all those. But at the end of the day, it's just a great connection point between, you mentioned all the different organizations and the different businesses that we're able to support by going to one or two or a handful of events, to be able to go down there and like you said, I come across a restaurant, a lot of these people hearing us talk about this sugar cookie are like, I don't know what they're talking about. $15, you can come try all the food you want and try some sugar cookie, and then now you've got your new favorite place downtown.
Yeah.
I guarantee you're going to find a new place you're going to want to go dine at.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No question about it. And of course, don't forget, we're supporting the food pantries too.
Absolutely. Still going to a good cause.
Yeah, you're getting lunch, you're fellowshipping with the community, and you're supporting food pantries and the restaurants.
It's a
So you're doing
win-win-win.
everything.
Yeah.
Maybe
Across the
another
board.
win too. It could be a
It's
win-win.
a quadruple win. Yeah.
Quad win?
Perhaps, yeah.
Is that a new word?
Hashtag quad win.
No, it's hashtag I shop Wiley.
That is hashtag I shop Wiley. Yep.
All right, guys, I got to do it real fast.
Do it.
I hate to do it, but again, supporting food pantries, got to mention a few sponsors. 'Cause
Absolutely.
they're important to the community. We talk about the community working together,
Yeah.
supporting one another. Sponsors are key to these events as well.
Agreed.
And that's why they do it. So Farmers Electric, top sponsor here for the Taste of Wiley. We have Prosperity Bank, McClure Partners, Ricker Dynamics, and Lon, is very active in the
Absolutely.
community. He's donating his time for this. So some of the great volunteers, Angel Wygant from the EDC, of course, Mary and Ron Workentine with the Christian Care, Lon Ricker, city team is involved in this as well. But RPM Auto Services, Credit Union of Texas, Wiley Eye Center, TXU Energy, Methodist Richardson, Primrose School of Wiley, almost there, Wiley ER, Wiley Tire Shop, great business.
Yeah.
Seen some of their videos. Richard Parker, Community Wealth Advisors, Wiley Insurance, American National Bank, and then Universal Transformer. So a great list of people.
It's a great list of sponsors. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good list.
Yeah, and they're often involved in many events in Wiley,
Sure.
which is cool to see.
That's good. I love seeing it. It's just kind of full circle.
Yeah,
It's full
it really
circle
does.
when
Yeah.
you have those. You have the businesses that we're supporting and giving back to, and introducing people to those businesses, and then those businesses are able to. We talk about revenue going back in circles, so that they're able to come back and invest back into the community and do things like that. So it's very cool.
Definitely. Now, one more thing. I know that many people, why the Monday? Why the Monday?
I was going to ask.
I'm sure you were.
I was waiting.
I was stealing your thunder there because I knew it was coming. Anytime we posted on Facebook, that's the question. Why the Monday? Now, there's history behind it.
Sure.
It's been that way for 29 years. But also, it made it easier for restaurants to participate. So typically a slower day, so they come out Monday at lunch and participate. And it was easier to get volunteers to participate as well, is my understanding.
Okay.
So this year, it still is on the Monday, but we've been talking about next year growing the event
Okay.
and looking at moving it to a Saturday night.
Huh.
And having music, entertainment, maybe arts and crafts, but still featuring the great food of Wiley.
Yeah.
But in a little different setting. So
are we thinking more, and not to name a specific city or anything, but there's some of those that you think about that have large taste of events. But so maybe looking at, maybe not at the scale, but maybe eventually to that scale, but looking at it from maybe one of those directions where a lot of those do feature like live music and things like that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Because we want it to be of value to the restaurants as well. So we're looking at different models that we can use, but it gives opportunity for more people to get involved.
More people to be introduced to those businesses,
yeah.
I would assume, which would be great.
Yeah.
And I remember that too, now that you mention, I remember from video and photos and stuff that I posted last year, that was I think the number one theme of the comments. Well, I would have been there if this wasn't on a Monday. We're at work. How are you expect us to come? But and again, there was still a good turnout. But I can only imagine.
About 1,000 people.
Yeah, I
so
was just going to say, you can only imagine what it might be like if it was.
I think most everybody works from home now, right?
Well, they did, but I think a lot of them they're making them go back to the offices and things.
And I think that's part of it. Again, with the volunteer group and the number of restaurants, if the event got too big, in the same model, it would have been very difficult to execute during a lunch.
Oh, yeah.
So that is why we're looking at growing this. It'll be good for everybody. It'll be good for the food pantries. It'll be great for the restaurants. Be great for the community. For those that do want to come to a community family-friendly event, all the ones we have. Another great event that people can come to. Still supporting those food pantries.
Awesome.
Great.
So the sport would go up too, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
As more people show up, more people are involved, and the sport that's able to go back is even better.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yep.
I love that. Well, you know what?
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, hopefully you'll be out there.
I am too. I need to clear up my stomach space is what I need to do. 'Cause we got just a lot of food. We got hot dogs coming up, then we've got an entire week of, and then Taste of Wiley. And I remember Taste of Wiley last year.
Yeah. It's
just a couple of days.
It's just a couple of days.
Now, don't those professional eaters, they prepare their stomachs?
They actually do. I think they do the opposite of what most people would do. Most people would think that I don't need to eat a whole lot. They do the opposite. They start stuffing themselves ahead of time. So they expand their... I heard the same thing because I would have thought you starve yourself, you go out there and you'll eat 58 hot dogs or whatever.
Your stomach shrinks.
But it's not. They stretch their stomach out to be...
So this gives you incentive then to continue eating
I guess
as
it does.
you lead up to the event.
I guess it does.
See what
All
happens.
right, well.
Well, you know what? We've covered a lot. We've covered a lot of events. Just to recap, kicking off May 1st, which is that Sunday, is the pedal car race. Okay? And that's going to be at discoverwiley.com is where they can register for that, correct? Directly after that is Small Business Week. We've got a lot of things happening on Small Business Week, and they need to be watching for this post, correct? There's going to be a post coming out, whether
there'll
it be
ads
EDC
in
or city, and ads,
Yeah,
correct?
there'll be ads, there'll be posts, there'll be information coming.
Breaking down what days those particular things are going on. And I know some of the events will do some of their own promotion as well, like sip and shop and things like that. But then the last that we just talked about would be that Monday, the 2nd, and that is Taste of Wiley. And that is going to be on the city's website. Tickets for that, correct?
Yes. Yeah, and we cross promote all these too. So if you go to the different websites, you'll find information.
Good. And I'm sure we can provide some links and things like that too.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of information.
It is.
How do you feel?
Man, I'm overwhelmed, actually. I'm like, I had so much information today.
That's good.
This is a great
Kickoff
podcast.
Absolutely.
We're back in business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the
Two
next
great
one.
guests.
Yes.
We couldn't ask for better guests today.
Craig, I appreciate you being here. Jeremy, thank you for being here.
Sure.
You guys both do a little bit of kind of thankless jobs of both of what you do, promoting the downtown merchants, promoting the city in general, the events, the downtown merchants as a whole. Which, Jeremy, I know your extension goes beyond just downtown merchants. I mean, you do a lot for just Wiley in general. But both of what you guys do. Thank you guys for what you do, and thanks for coming in. Appreciate you taking some time out to come in and hang out with us,
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, thank you.
gentlemen. See you next time.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the Live, Love, Wiley podcast, hosted by Wes Dorsey and Jeremiah Venzel. Connecting people in the city we live and love. This episode of the Live, Love, Wiley podcast is brought to you by the Dorsey Realty Group and Speak Loud Media.